What is up, guys? Frad here, and today is part 4 of our 8-parter series on the top 3 support cards for every new boss units we're gonna get in Clan Collection Volume 1 and 2. Finishing up on the G clans today with Great Nature. If any clan you were looking forward to hear me talk about those top 3 units or are just curious as to what I had to say, all of the other videos are on my channel, so feel free to look them up. Also, simple reminder, I won't include any of the reprinted cards from this set, as my goal is to help you guys know what are the best cards to get your hands on outside of this set to help support the new boss units. If you enjoyed this format, please leave a like on this video and consider subscribing if you're new to the channel. Enough chit chat, let's go! Let's start by having a look at those 3 returning units for Great Nature. Starting things off with Taping Cat. Its skill reads auto. When this unit is retired from rearguard circle or this card is discarded from deck, cast Soul Blast 1 and perform one of the following. Draw a card or choose one of your rearguards and it gets power plus 5k until end of turn. And then Compass Lion makes a comeback. Its skill reads auto, Vanguard and rearguard circle. At the end of your turn, choose one of your rearguards and retire it. This effect is mandatory. And we also get Honorary Professor Chat Noir. Its new skill reads auto on Vanguard and rearguard circle once per turn. When this unit attacks, cast Counterblast 1, draw a card, discard the top card of your deck, and perform one of the effects below depending on that card's type. If this unit is on Vanguard circle, perform both effects regardless of the card's type. If it's a normal unit, choose 2 of your rearguards and they get power plus 5k until end of turn. At the end of that turn, retire those units. Then if it's a trigger unit, choose one of your rearguards. Until end of turn, that unit can attack from the back row and gets power plus 5k. At the end of that turn, retire that unit. Chat Noir is a really fun boss unit on its own, but it's gonna bring out its full potential in the already existing Isabelle build. But more on that later. And also, I gotta say that Overdress being 3,000 years later than these guys' time on Cray, the hint of Magnolia skill on Chat Noir is pretty enjoyable. So let's start with our top 3 cards. Scale Toucan. Its skill reads auto, rearguard circle. When placed from hand, cast Soul Blast 1 and return one of your other rearguards to your hand. Then auto on Vanguard and rearguard circle once per turn. When your card is put from the deck into the drop zone, you may have this unit get power plus 5k until end of turn. Scale Toucan is very useful. I mean, it allows you to reuse some of your unplay skills, and it's especially enjoyable on the free unplay skills as this deck is pretty resource heavy. Afflated Lemur and Mini Belly are great targets for Scale Toucan. Then on to our number 2. Holy Great Sage of Black Shadows, Isabelle. Her first skill reads continuous on Vanguard circle. If your opponent's Vanguard is grade 3 or greater, you perform both of the effects or perform one of the effects. Then auto on Vanguard and rearguard circle. When placed, cast Soul Blast 1, put the top card of your deck into the drop zone and perform one of the effects below depending on that card's type. If it's a normal unit, this unit gets power plus 15k until end of turn. Then, if it's a trigger unit, return the card put from your deck into the drop zone by this effect to your hand. This version of Isabelle is this deck's necessary rearguard baseball bat. Thanks to some other cards, she can easily rank up to 47k on her own in a single turn. So yeah, she makes up for a great target actually for Chat Noir's skill when choosing a unit to attack from your back row, as she's big enough not to be boosted. Did I mention she pluses 1? Yeah, get that furry doll. Then on to our first number 1. Sage Saint Mentor of Black Lacquer, Isabelle. Her first skill continuous on Vanguard circle. If your opponent's Vanguard is grade 3 or greater, you perform both of the effects or perform one of the effects. Then her other skill auto on Vanguard and rearguard circle. When placed, look at 3 cards from the top of your deck and put them on the top of your deck in any order. Then her last skill, act on Vanguard circle. Once per turn, cost Counterblast 1. Choose one of your unit's auto abilities with when placed and activate it. If your opponent's Vanguard is grade 3 or greater, all of your front row units get power plus 10k until end of turn. does not mean cost and conditions of that auto can be ignored. This version of Isabelle is basically our key card and thus our main vanguard. I mean, she activates both of Chanoir's skill, the other Isabelle skill, Affiliated Limmer's skills, both of Lovey-Dovey's skill. Her necessity is obvious, because she allows you to make the most out of every abilities. And also that complementary OTT skill is very welcome, because that way you can maximize your attack patterns for the turn, depending if you check fronts, crits, depending on your trigger lineup. So yeah, in all possibilities of you running Chat Noir, Isabelle is where its niche is the most useful. And now let's look at the returning Kagero units. Seal Dragon Kersey. Its skill reads auto. When this unit is placed on Vanguard Circle or Rearguard Circle, cost Soul Blast 1 and discard a card from your hand. Choose one of your opponent's rearguards and retire it. Your opponent chooses up to one Grade 2 unit card from their hand and calls it to an open Rearguard Circle. The auto abilities of your opponent's cards do not activate from this call. If no cards were called, you draw 2 cards. Then on to Seal Dragon Corps du Roi, which is misspelled French for Body of the King. Its skill reads act on Vanguard and Rearguard Circle once per turn, cost Counterblast 1, choose one of your opponent's rearguards and retire it. Your opponent looks at 5 cards from the top of their deck, chooses up to one Grade 2 unit card, calls it to an open Rearguard Circle, and shuffles their deck. The auto abilities of your opponent's cards do not activate from this call. If no cards were called, you countercharge 1, so he refunds himself. And then the awaited return of Seal Dragon Blockade. Its new skill reads act on Vanguard Circle once per turn, cost Counterblast 1, and retire all of your opponent's Grade 2 rearguards. All of your front row units get power plus 10k until end of turn for each unit retired. If no units were retired, you get an imaginary gift force. Its other skill, continuous on Vanguard Circle. If your opponent has no Grade 2 units on their Vanguard or Rearguard Circle, this unit's original critical becomes 2. With the cross still running around, Blockade probably won't be the best Kagero boss unit you can build a deck of, but I'm pretty sure he'll get better in the future. As it stands right now, most of the specific Kagero support cards are either for Dragonic Overlord or even Blade Master. So for now, let's see what we can do to enjoy this new boss unit to the most of our possibilities. Starting off at number 3, the kinda new Break Breath Dragon. Its skill reads auto on Rearguard Circle. At the end of the battle, it attacked. If your opponent's rearguard was retired this turn, cost retire this unit and draw a card. Then auto, when rode upon, choose one of your opponent's rearguards, retire it. If you did not retire, draw a card. So Break Breath adds to the already existing rearguard retiring pressure that comes from Seal Dragons. He generates a soul, draws you a card. It's a great unit. Then number 2, the oldie Flame of Hope Airmo. Its first skill reads continuous on Rearguard Circle. During the battle that it boosted, this unit gets power plus 3k. Then auto on Rearguard Circle. When your opponent's rearguard is retired during your turn, cost retire this unit, draw a card, and countercharge 1. Seal Dragons seem to need a little bit of CB, so Airmo is there to back him up. Kinda similar to Break Breath in that regard. He generates a resource, he draws you a card, but CB being the most difficult one to generate since you cannot rewrite or anything. This deserves Airmo the number 2 spot. Now on to our top 1 support card, Dauntless Drive Dragon. Its first skill reads auto on Vanguard Circle. At the end of the battle, your drive check revealed 2 or more normal units. One of your front row rearguards gets power plus 10k until end of turn. Then auto on Vanguard Circle once per turn. At the end of the battle, it attacked. If your hand has 4 or more cards, cost discard 3 cards from your hand and stand this unit. And then the interesting part, auto when rode upon. Choose one of your vanguards and it gets all of this card's auto abilities other than this ability until end of turn. Dauntless simply allows you to capitalize on 2 Vanguard attacks that are both double criticals thanks to Blockade skill. Just recently been added to the frame the latest V collection. It's proven to be a decent first ride for Kagero. and this will be our best first ride for a little while. And with Kagero done, let's move on to Link Joker. Let's have a quick glance at the new Starvator units. Present Gate Starvator Palladium. Its first skill reads Auto. When this unit is rode upon, you may call this card to Rearguard Circle. Then Auto on Rearguard Circle. When your opponent's locked card is unlocked, cast Counterblast 1 and retire this unit. Your opponent looks at the top card of their deck and puts it on an open Rearguard Circle as a locked card. And then we got Starvator Colony Maker. Her new skill reads Auto. When this unit is placed on Vanguard Circle or Rearguard Circle, cast Soul Blast 1 and discard a card from your hand. Look at 5 cards from the top of your deck, choose up to 1 card with Starvator in its card name from among them, call it to Rearguard Circle as Rast, and shuffle your deck. If your opponent has a locked card, call it as Stand. Honestly, compared to her old self, she's kind of underwhelming, sadly. Following that, we have another breaking return for Starvator Infinite Zero Dragon this time. Its new skill reads Auto. When this unit is placed on Vanguard Circle or is rode upon, cast Counterblast 1 and discard a card from your hand. Choose one of your opponent's rear guards and lock it. If your damage zone has 4 or more cards, choose 1 each from your opponent's front row and back row instead of 1. Then continuous on Vanguard and Rearguard Circle. During your turn, this unit gets power plus 5k for each of your opponent's locked cards. Looks like we're getting our second wave of Starvator support cards. Infinite Zero Dragon has never really been a boss unit out of himself, but he sure did and sure will support his superiors greatly. Let's look at our number 3 card, Starvator Craving Claw. Its first skill reads Auto. Vanguard and Rearguard Circle. When its attack or the attack it boosted hits a Vanguard, look at 5 cards from the top of your deck, reveal up to 1 card with Starvator in its card name from among them, and put it into your hand and shuffle your deck. Then act on Rearguard Circle. If your opponent's Vanguard is grade 3 or greater, cast. Put this unit into the soul, choose up to 1 of your opponent's locked cards, and unlock it. If you unlock the card, choose one of your opponent's rear guards other than that unlocked unit and lock it. Lots of pop and locks, eh? We might only have a few Starvator archetype cards in V, but the ones we have right now are really good. Especially Craving Claw being a great early on-hit pressure, because your opponent doesn't really want you to hit that Zirconium or any of your grade 3 cards really. And if it does hit, the odds of hitting a Starvator unit are really higher now, thanks to the new support. Card pressure in exchange for card advantage is always a good trade-off. Let's have a look at our number 2 card, Bisection Starvator Zirconium. Its first skill reads Auto. On Vanguard and Rearguard Circle. When placed, if you have a Vanguard with Starvator in its card name, cast Counterblast 1. Your opponent looks at the top card of his or her deck and puts it on an open Rearguard Circle as a locked card. If that locked card was placed in the back row, you draw a card, and this unit gets power plus 10k until end of turn. Then continuous on Rearguard Circle. If your opponent's Vanguard is grade 3 or greater, and he or she has a locked card, all of your Vanguard's original critical become 2. Zirconium is a pest. He punishes your opponent for not committing a board, and he also powers up your Vanguard. Zirconium is, without a doubt, an easy 4 of in your Starvator deck. And we're already at our last top 1 of the deck, Starvator Chaos Breaker Dragon. Its first skill reads continuous on Vanguard and Rearguard Circle. During your turn, if your opponent has a locked card, this unit gets power plus 10k. Then act on Vanguard Circle once per turn, cast Counterblast 1. Your opponent gets an imaginary gift force. You choose one of your opponent's rear guards and lock it. Then Auto on Vanguard Circle. When your opponent's locked card is unlocked, cast Soul Blast 1. Retire one of those unlocked units, you draw a card. Your opponent removes a total of 2 markers from his or her circles or protect from his or her hand, and you get an imaginary gift force for each marker or protect removed. I mean, it's pretty safe to say that all of those new Starvator cards are support cards for this guy. He helps you control the opponent, steal markers, pluses you, and he has beatstick capabilities. CBD didn't make a name of itself overnight. It was feared back in the day, and even if it's not top meta right now, players hate playing against it. Overall, Starvaders look pretty decent. So that is it for me today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Please leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you enjoyed this video. As always, decklists are coming up, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.